Hey everybody, it's Sam Utari here, and welcome to Guild Wars. Now the thing is I always say that this is absolutely one of my favorite games, and if you've watched my LOTGD, like, walkthrough and stuff, you're gonna be like, oh god, not another one of her favorite games. So, Guild Wars, how do I even begin to explain it? Well, basically I started playing in middle school. I don't really know how to really explain this. So I started playing in middle school, and my friends really wanted me to play this game, and I was always wanting to try something new, something different, and I liked the idea that I could get online the same time as my friends and do a lot of cool things, and etc. So I really want to show you guys how to really begin your adventure in Guild Wars, and much as I like this character, I want you to see the, I guess the beginning stages of Guild Wars and its opening story, and I've already watched it with him, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this character, which is sad. I'll just recreate him. Archisphere, delete. Okay, so we're gonna create something. Like, I was gonna make a Sam Utari character, and I was gonna make one that looked like a samurai. I think I did that in my last one, but because I already have two warriors here and a mesmer here, I'm just gonna recreate Archisphere because necromancers are really fun to play. So when you buy Guild Wars, which by the way you can do a free trial on the website, but whenever you join, you can either choose a role-playing character or a PvP-only character. Now, PvP-only characters, you can, you start off at level 20, which is the max level. You start out with the best type of gear, and basically you're just sent into a PvP area where you are just made to fight people whenever you want to fight people. I've never really tried it myself. I'm not a PvP person. I'm more into questing and doing awesome things like that. And I like the storyline of the game, but if PvP is your thing, then this is for you. So the only thing with the ultimate armors is that they look like your basic armors. They're really nothing special. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna choose a role-playing character, which will delve us into the story of Guild Wars. Okay, now Guild Wars, it now does have a sequel, which is Guild Wars 2. It came out last year, actually. I waited 5 years for the game to come out, so I would know. But Guild Wars in itself doesn't really, it only has one true expansion, which is Eye of the North, but it has 3 different versions. You have Prophecies, which is like your medieval version. You have Factions, which is all based on Japanese culture and etc., as you can see by the buildings. Japanese, Asian, Chinese, like just Asian in general. So Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, etc., Burmese, whatever. It's all based on Asian culture. I automatically say Japanese because, I mean, hell, it's usually a cliche thing. And then Nightfall is basically, it's based in an Egyptian / African, basically desert world, a desert tropical, half desert, half tropical world. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And the cool thing about these two is, whereas in Prophecies you only have a certain amount of choices, you have your monk, warrior, ranger, necromancer, elementalist, mesmer, and I think that's all you have. And then whenever you play Factions, you have the choice of the assassin or the ritualist added onto that list. And then with Nightfall, you have the sun, or you have your, what is it called? I totally forgot. I call them sun spears, but they're not sun spears. Paragon. You have your Paragon, and then you have the other one, but God, I can't even remember what they're called. Paragon and, well, shit. Okay, well, I can't remember the other one, but you get Paragon and something else. It's just I never used the other thing. Like, I've never used that other class. Anyways, because I don't have these versions on this account, because I do have multiple accounts, I am going to go ahead and go to Prophecies. And as I said before, you get a choice of classes, which when I started in middle school, I started as an elementalist, Elementalist is a master of arcane lore and magical aptitude. The Elementalist calls upon the power of fire, earth, air, and water to obliterate enemies. You have your Mesmer, which Mesmer is considered the hardest class to play. In the Guild Wars series, my main character on my other account is a Mesmer, and I love her to death. A master of illusion, misdirection, and control, the Mesmer subverts the damage-dealing capabilities of others, manipulating their perception to achieve personal goals. It's basically, I'm not a strategist, but Mesmer takes actual strategy, and that's why I suck at it. Plus, as a spellcaster, you have to stand in the back, whereas I like to charge right into shit. We're going to skip the Necromancer since we're choosing it. The Servant of Divine Spirits, the monk uses prayer to protect, preserve, and restore the well-being of companions, so they're the healer. Now, you can be a monk that deals damage, but usually, of course, monks are healers. They don't really do much damage themselves, so unless you're planning on joining a party and questing as a healer, then don't be a monk. Ranger, an agile and wily survivor, the ranger specializes in archery, beast mastery, and attunement to nature. I love playing the ranger because you can get a animal companion, and in this game you can specialize with a secondary class. So my Mesmer, who I play, she is a secondary ranger. So she's a Mesmer ranger, and she has a polar bear. And so while I'm in the back casting spells, my polar bear is out front dealing all sorts of damage and wreaking havoc, and I love it. Warrior, the mightiest of the mighty, the bravest of the brave. The warrior is the master of melee combat and heavy armor. So, I mean, everybody knows what the warrior does. They have simple healing signets to heal themselves. Like, they have, of course, skills that boost their strength, but also lowers their defense. They are the strongest of all the classes, but they're also the slowest. They also grab aggro the fastest because they are the strongest. Oh, and by the way, hunters use bows. Just thought I'd let you know. But you probably already knew that. And then lastly, we have the Necromancer. One who has learned to draw power from blood and sacrifice in the communion with death. The Necromancer uses black magic to cast curses and raise undead minions. I like the Necromancer because it uses a lot of vampiric powers. You can suck other people's blood and gain health, and it works for you. God, they're so ugly. So it's typical. It's a character customization thing, male or female. I'm going to recreate Arcus' spear, so we're going to go male. He already has the right hair. But, okay, this is basically how the game works. You don't really get much choice when it comes to things. They already pick out faces for you. You don't get to choose the color or anything like that of the eyes. So character customization may seem a little limited, but all in all, it's not as bad as what you might think. So, ooh, spiky hair. Do I want spiky hair? No, I like this. I like it looking a little messy. But yeah, so also each time you choose a character class, the looks are going to be different. So obviously these are not the faces you would get for a warrior or a Mesmer, even if you choose a male. So the Necromancer's faces, because they deal in death, they tend to be really, really creepy. And then, of course, you have, the warriors, which tend to be really buff, and so they have really rugged faces. And then you have the Mesmers and the Elementalists, which are very elegant, so you have really elegant faces. Now, here you can choose your body scale. I tend not to really care much with body scale, really. This is going to be red. I don't remember when I had it before. I think this was silver, Or was it red? Yes, and then these were silver. I probably have this all wrong. This is brown. This is brown. And this is red. No, this is brown and this is red. Anyways, I don't know if this is right or not. Okay, so obviously Necromancers, they use wands. Now, wands have different things. Like, okay, if you're a Mesmer, you need a Mesmer wand. Something that has attributes to things that you use. Obviously, if you pick up a wand and it gives you plus 10 to healing power, you don't want that because that's for a monk. Same if you have, if you're playing a Mesmer and you pick up something that says plus 10 blood magic. I mean, that's for a Necromancer. So you don't want to use it. So just make sure that you're being smart. Now that we actually have our character created, we're going to name him, and I'm going to go back with Arcus Sphere. You have to have a first and second name. So obviously for mine it was the Sam Utari. You can also use Sam Utari. So every character on Guild Wars has to have a first and second name. For the second Guild Wars, it's not even necessary. You can just choose a name, and as long as it hasn't been taken, then you're good. Now, if you played Guild Wars before, they had you sign into a database and put in your character names. That way, in Guild Wars 2, those names were actually reserved for you. I didn't use it because in Guild Wars, I don't think you have enough spaces to type in for the 2 names. But anyways, let's get through Guild Wars before we start discussing Guild Wars 2. I'm going to just dive right in and let you watch the video, and then I'll try and explain some more mechanics to you, okay? See you in a moment. Sorry for the awkward pause. It usually doesn't take this long, but I think my computer's heating up.
People carry on with their daily lives, unaware that in a short while, everything they have ever loved will come to an end. Scribe? Yes, Lord. It's charged and reckless, but we shall hold the wall at all costs. Yes, Lord. Take this message to Sir Titus. Go forward with the strongest, the smartest. Bring to me the bravest in all of Ascalon. Find me the heroes who will lead our kingdom to glory. As you like, King.
Okay, so this is basically where the game starts. Am I actually standing there alone? Okay, because usually whenever you start the game, there's a lot of other people starting the game with you, and you end up in a bodysuit, because all the people that are loading. But I guess the server I'm in is pretty much empty right now, which is good. It'll be good for us. Okay, so I love how he's like, let's give me the bravest and the strongest, and then you get someone named, Sir Panty Lord, and then it's like, okay, well, our lives depend on Sir Panty Lord. So anyways, I'm just gonna explain the basics. I'm gonna cut this video after I explain the basis, because once I start doing the quests and stuff, I really just kind of want to get into it. So hopefully you can see my cursor all right. Obviously, this is your character. Up, down, left, right to move. It's really, really simple. WASD works. I use WASD because it allows me to click. This game is pretty simple. Guild Wars originally was not, and I repeat, it was not meant to be played as an MMO. Like I said, the level cap for Guild Wars is only 20. You're level 1, and quests allow you to level up rather quickly. You cannot grind in this game. It's pretty much like World of Warcraft. You cannot go kill a bunch of monsters and gain levels like you would in something like Pokemon or etc. It's just not possible. I'm just gonna go ahead and dance. Okay, so each character also has a different dance. Oh shit, I forgot. Clicking. Shit. Okay, good thing. In this game, you cannot jump. In Guild Wars 2, you can jump and you can fall off things, but this game, as it was not meant to be played as an MMO, does have the invisible barrier going on. So even though that goes down there, and even though there's obviously land all over there that is textured and really pretty, that's just a background mess. You'll never be able to go over there, and I am really, really sorry. I've always wanted to go over there myself. You actually do go into this area later on whenever you leave this part of the game, but that's for something else. Okay, so the basics. This area that you're in right now is called Pre-Searing, okay? There are 2 parts to prophecies. Actually, there's like 3, but there are 2 official parts, and there's the pre-searing and the post-searing. Now, the searing is the event which pretty much kicks off the whole game, and you being a badass warrior, and etc., etc., etc. So the pre-searing is basically your training and your tutorial of the game. They teach you how to use your weapons, equip your weapons, they teach you how to quest, they give you a chance to level up. My stupid self, whenever I started Guild Wars, my friends convinced me to leave Pre-Searing at like level 5, which is really possible, but my personal advice to you is do not leave Pre-Searing until you're at least level 8, because the outside world during post-searing, where everything's all like bleh, and all the events of the video have happened, where it's the end of Ascalon or whatever, yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So, okay, so now that we got that established, this is the tutorial area. The thing is that there are actually people, I'll have to go back to that dude behind there, but I'm just walking around. There are people in this area that are actually level, oh, so serious, like, that are actually level 20. There is a way to get to level 20 in Pre-Searing. There are actually people that just stay in Pre-Searing. They stay in Pre-Searing just to chat with each other, meet up with friends, etc. These are all real people. This is not my character talking, by the way. It's someone down there. It's this person right here, who Bert Wonderstone. Oh God, it's this person right here. He's drunk, and whenever you're drunk, you start screaming random text like that. But yeah. Okay, so this is a typical username. I'm gonna show you. This person is a Mesmer Ranger level 20 named Slow Lies. And if you see SC, that is the guild that that person's in. I'm going to go ahead and press the G button. I think, yeah, and it takes you to guild. Now, I've created my own guild, which is called the Necrid Sanctum, and that's why I have the cape on. Now, you can choose to take off the cape, but whenever you create a guild, later on, you can design the cape if you have enough money for it. And this is how I designed it. I wanted the tattered look with a red rose and blah. And the reason I made this is because I made it as a rival guild to my other account, and I was hoping that this guild would take off as being a really scary bad guy guild, but it never worked. So yeah, and I don't think we have anybody. No, we don't have any members because all of them probably left since this account is so inactive. But that's why I'm using it now. So that's basically the guild system. Guild invites, you have to pay 100 gold to invite somebody to your guild. You have to pay 100 gold to give them a trial of your guild if you just want them to look in the guild and see. You have to pay like 100 gold if you want to get an alliance. Like, it's all very complicated, all very costly. Gold is not easy to come by in this game. So, I think I is what takes you to the inventory? Yeah, okay, so this is where you can see your character. Okay, and say you don't want to see the scar or something, like, which is this. You just click this, and you can always show it, hide it in towns and outposts, hide in combat areas, or you can always hide it. And if you always hide it, boom, it's gone from your character's face. I like it, so I'm going to keep it. Same with the cape. You can hide it, you can keep it. I always show mine just because I am proud. This is for your weapon. This is for your secondary placement. So if you're a magic user, you have magic signets that you can put there, which kind of gives you an energy boost. As a spellcaster, you have, of course, your HP, which is down here, and then you have your mana, which is called energy. And if you're a warrior, you have HP, and then you also have what is it? It's morale, I think, is what it is. It's works the same as energy. Every time you use a skill, it goes down, but as you're fighting, it goes back up, etc., etc., etc. These down here, these are for costumes, and you can buy costumes on the website, the main website for Guild Wars. They basically put a skin over your character to give him or her a special look. Now these armors are just your beginning armors, and whenever you change a piece of armor, so say I buy a new chest piece, they go back to the default colors, which are just gray. Every default color is just gray. So if I were to buy a new chess piece that's better and it looked just like this, it would be gray. And the only way to get it colored again is to get dyes. And then when you get a dye, you just double click it and then click the armor you want it on. It dyes it a color. You see how it looks, and if you like it, you apply it, etc., etc. And people spend mucho gold pieces on dyes. So yeah, and as you go on, you get different looking armors. You just kind of gotta mix and match, try on different things. Why is this dude here? Cinderella Pokemon. See, this is what I mean. Bring me the bravest and the strongest. Yes, sir, I brought you Cinderella Pokemon. Oy. And he has a skin on. He actually has a transmutation potion going on. This dude's a basic mage. This dude, I don't even know what this dude's wearing. I think he's a mesmer. No, he's a necromancer. Wow, he's got fancy clothes. But I think he bought some. But yeah, there's a mesmer. They wear masks and shit because they're awesome. Anyways, I'm not really doing very well with explaining this game. Anyways, let's kind of go back to the basics. So WASD to move. This game also can click. If you left click something, you go to the place where you left click. That's how I used to play. Right click. If you hold right click and look around using your mouse, that is how you look around, obviously. You move your mouse around with the right click down and stuff, but I don't have a mouse. So I used to move that way, now I can't move that way. See, festival masks and costume makers. I used to not have those. So right now we're in the city of Ascalon, and well, we have no quests. Yeah, the L button is the log. I want to try something. So if you buy the main version of Prophecies and you type in oh my god, somebody shoot me now, I just said # bonus. Oh god. Okay, you see all these items appear? The thing is Guild Wars was celebrating its like 20th anniversary or something like that. I forget what it was. And it was celebrating something. And so every time you buy the full game of Prophecies, you get these bonus items. Going to the inventory, you can see what they are. Now this igneous summoning stone. If you double click it, just not in a town, an imp appears. And it'll help you fight. It's kind of like a little sideline companion. If you're a hunter, this is really awesome because it doesn't interfere with your animal companion. So you can still have your animal companion, and you can go ahead and do all that fun stuff with the imp. And the imp can be used all the way up until you're level 20. Once you're level 20, you can no longer use it, and then just toss it. So here's what I mean by different stats. You have the poisonous Nevermore flat bow. Piercing damage 15 to 28, requires marksmanship. Now, where is my, is it M? No, M's map. I'm trying to think of what the P, no, Q, no, N, no, Oi, S, no. Okay, so we're just going to press buttons until I figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be pressing. Nope. K, there we go. K for your skills and attributes. I haven't played this so long. As a necromancer, you get to choose what attributes you want, and every time you add one, then any skill that has one of these attributes will go up in stats. So you have blood magic, death magic, soul reaping, and curses. Now, this Nevermore flat bow requires 9 marksmanship, which is only for only for rangers. I'm going to say hunters a lot because they changed the name, I think, in Guild Wars 2. So I don't need that. The Tiger's Roar. It requires 9 energy storage. This is like an elementalist thing, so I don't need that. This halves the cast of healing time. Nope, that's a monk. I don't need it. Same with this hammer. It's obviously for a warrior. And this staff is for a mesmer, which I love using this staff. The shield, I can't use the shield, but I'm going to go ahead and put it there anyways because I like to. But what I want is this, the Insightful Soul Shrieker. It gives you energy plus 10, and the damage does 11 to 22, only if you have 9 in curses. It halves the time of death magic spells, and it halves casting time of blood magic spells. It also has energy +5 and damage +20%, and it's pretty cool. But it's two-handed, so my shield's gonna disappear. So getting rid of this crappy starter truncheon, I've equipped the Soul Shrieker, which, I mean, how fucking cool does that look? Now, and I'm gonna keep this in my inventory because this is gonna summon an imp which is gonna come to use later whenever I enter the field. Now, right now you're in a town, which means there's no monsters, there's no nothing. So you're basically safe, your weapons do not show. I've somehow tagged myself, and now you can see Arcosphere. I'm part of Nest, which is the Necrid Sanctum. Feel free to join it if you'd like, even though my Sacred Hollow Guild is better. So, alright, so this kind of covers the basics of what we're going to be doing. I've now showed you how to equip a new weapon. I showed you the /bonus feature. Hashtag. I've shown you the /bonus feature. I will be teaching you some emotes later, and on the next episode we're going to be covering some quests. Obviously, those of you who have played an MMO knows that someone with an exclamation above their head has a quest for you, or has something to say. So, in the next episode we're going to start questing, we're going to begin this awesome Guild War adventure. This game is magical and lovely, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I always have. And I'll probably introduce you to some other things as well. We'll be heading to the field, and you'll be learning some more history about Guild Wars as we go. And I can't wait to explain it all to you. Anyways, this has been Sam Utari. Thank you for tuning in to Guild Wars, Part 1. Hopefully, my best friend can get on here. I do want to give a shout out to Kirsten, who is my BFF. She was the one who told me that to go in the options to put this in window so that I could actually record it for you guys, because I had recorded a whole one with a new character called Sam Utari, but it got deleted because it was shit, and I didn't know that my computer could not record full screen. As we play deeper into Guild Wars, like I said, I hope to go questing with my friend, maybe try some story mode things. As you saw, there's a new character that just started just now, and he's going and getting his quest, etc., because he's not explaining it to other people like I am. Anyways, pretty self-explanatory. So thank you, Kirsten, for giving me that tips and advice. Hopefully we can play together soon, because that'll be awesome, as usual. And, yeah, again, thanks for tuning in. Hit like if you can't wait to see more of this series, to see what this beautiful game has in store for you. This game is free to play, but you have to purchase it first. So it is a one-time cost of purchasing the game, and then after that it is free to play forever. Guild Wars 2 is the same. If the graphics are a little outdated for you, then go ahead and go for Guild Wars 2. You can jump right into that without having to really know anything about Guild Wars 1, though it's always good to have a little bit of history behind you. And so hit like if you want to see more. Hit the subscribe button so you can see when I come out with new videos. Leave a comment down below if you already play Guild Wars. Leave me your name. We'll team up sometime. I'll add you on my friends list, and it'll be a good old time. But yeah, go ahead and leave me a comment with your main username and tell me if you want to hang out, and we will do that. And lastly, connect with me online. See what awesome things I have to post to my blog, and I'll be posting the links to my guilds down below, because I do have websites for each and every one of them. But until next time, this has been Sam Utari, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Alright, ciao you guys.